Live. And the topics for Joe and Monty have changed in priority over the past inning or so. It was going to be about Yordano Ventura and his outing today, allowing 7 runs in 7 innings. The pitching of Carlos Rodon, pitching out of trouble to keep the Royals offense down, and that's been a challenge lately for American League pitchers to keep the Royals offense down. But now at the top of the list will be Salvador Perez, who was just removed from the game in the top of the 9th inning after a collision with Cheslor Cuthbert. David Robertson will pitch the bottom of the 9th inning, so Drew Butera is now hitting in the number 5 spot. It'll be Paulo Orlando, Cheslor Cuthbert, and Brett Eibner in the bottom of the 9th. Paulo Orlando in the 2nd inning, single to right field to give him an 11-game hitting streak, adding to his career high. David Robertson is the 4th White Sox pitcher today. Rodon went 5 innings, gave up the 1 run. Pitched out of trouble in the 2nd and 3rd innings, but with a high pitch count was only able to go 5. Zach Putnam has picked up the White Sox bullpen today. He went 2 1/3. Zach Duke 2/3 of an inning, and now Robertson, the closer, is just getting some work with a 6-run lead.
He uses a fastball, curveball, occasional changeup.
Down goes Paulo Orlando, 1 away in the bottom of the 9th inning. Today's copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Kansas City Royals and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Kansas City Royals Baseball Club. Ryan Lefevre, Rex Hudler with Joe Goldberg and Jeff Montgomery. They're coming up after the final out. Our producer today is Brian Shapiro. Director Steve Kurtenbach. Associate producers Al Broughton, Sam Abramson, Dave Holtzman. As Cuthbert singles with 1 out in the 9th inning, he is 1 for 4. And now Brett Eibner, 0 for 3. All outs in the air. A foul out to first, a line out to left, and a pop out to short. And a chance for him to get an at-bat against a big league closer. One and one. Well hit to right field. Adam Eaton is back, and he lost it in the sun. So Eibner's first 2 big league hits are doubles.
Off of a big league closer. I thought that had a chance. Now, earlier in the game when the wind was blowing out there, that might have pushed it out, but now the flag's laying down, not doing any wind at all. Good swing. He thought he might have had a chance with it. Hit midway up the wall. Eaton lost it.
Eibner's father, Dan, with a big smile on his face, getting a chance to see his son in the big leagues, and he's delivered a double in each of his first 2 big league games. 0-1 on Omar Infante. And Eibner has been the DH last night and today. He is a good defensive outfielder. Of course, you have to be. You're going to come up through the Royals system now with a great arm. The Houston Astros, when they drafted Eibner out of high school in the 4th round, saw him as a pitcher as much as they did a position player, and he could throw in the 90s. Right now, the Royals are using Whit Merrifield and Gerard Dyson in left field and Paulo Orlando in right. Two and one on Infante. Balls, 1 strike. Royals did a good job of putting the heat on Rodon in the first 5 innings. Rodon, his final line is 1 run in 5 innings, but he only had 1 1-2-3 inning. Royals had the bases loaded in the 2nd inning. Rodon was able to pitch out of that. Royals had 2 base runners in the 3rd. That's where they scored their run, and they had runners at 2nd and 3rd with 1 out in the 5th inning, and Rodon pitched out of that. And the bases are loaded for Alcides Escobar. And here's that situation again. A closer pitching in a non-save situation, and that's usually when they're at their worst. You figure no pressure, they can go out there and, as we like to say in quotations, to get some work in. But as Monty has shared with us so many times, the intensity of the situation has gone, and the way Monty would put it, in the back of his mind, he felt like his teammates were saying, okay, let's just throw strikes and get out of here, and he wouldn't pitch his game.
Well, Infante got a breaker his first pitch. Escobar didn't. Heater in. Thought he might throw him a breaker. Got a big curve. Yeah, the adrenaline is not the same for Robertson.
Not a strike. Boy, that is a pitch with some tight spin.
Yeah, and you know, he's come up with that slider. That's not a curveball. That's a slider. So he's got more than just a power fastball, curve, and change.
One and two. White Sox coming into today were really struggling to score runs. White Sox were averaging fewer than 3 runs per game over the last week and a half. Meanwhile, the Royals were averaging 7+ runs in their last 4, and the roles have been reversed. 2-2 on Escobar. Robin Ventura's team coming into today had lost 12 of 16 games and 5.5 games over their lead in the Central. And a lot of those struggles were connected to a lack of offense. Escobar works a full count. tying run is still in the hole. So if Escobar can reach, the tying run will be on deck. Fans holding out hope today. Over 31,000 are at Kauffman Stadium this afternoon. Inside, Robertson walks in a run.
Cuthbert looking like he's got a little bit of a gait to his rod. So he looks like he's a little bit sore from that collision.
So Robin Ventura doesn't want to burn his closer by having him throw too many pitches in a non-safe situation. And he just wants to check on Robertson. Now, of course, a closer cannot create a safe situation, because right now, if another pitcher came on, it would be a safe situation because the tying run is on deck. But for Robertson, he created it. He could not get a save.
You'll remember back to the first week of the season here at home when the Royals were playing the Minnesota Twins. Molitor brings in Glenn Perkins for some work. He ends up throwing 32 pitches. The next night he came in and he was out of gas. We busted him, and he went on the DL. So Ventura's not going to let Robertson go much longer if he wants him for tomorrow.
There's that slider for a strike to Merrifield. So Eibner is at third. He doubled. And then the back-to-back walks to two guys who are hard to walk. Infante and Escobar. Escobar gets an RBI with his walk. And now Whit Merrifield, who is 1 for 4 with a double today. One and one.
What a perfect time for your first big league homer. Now we've seen him do quite a few firsts in every young player. Tonight, or this afternoon, he got his first outfield assist on a ball he dropped. Picked it up, got the force at second base.
Two balls and one strike. And really, that's the only pitch he's throwing. That slider slash cutter. There's Lorenzo Cain representing the potential tying run on deck. Merrifield would need to reach for Cain to come to the plate, representing the tying run. Two and two. Tough spot for a hitter.
Yep.
Still 2 and 2.
Right there. Hold off it just a tad. Merrifield wants to be able to recover the outside part of the plate, so he's got to be able to think that way. And that's where Robertson wants to throw it, but he can react in.
Pitch number 25 for Robertson. Grounded off of his glove into shallow right field. That'll get two to the plate, and the tying run comes to the plate.
Merrifield going good. He'll pick up a couple more ribbies with that. Line shot that was deflected, and Ventura now, he's between a rock and a hard place. He's saying, now look, my guy's already thrown 25 pitches. That's more than I thought it would take for him to get some work in this afternoon. And now with this happening, there's still one out. He doesn't want to wear him down, so he can't pitch tomorrow in case they need him. So his stomach's starting to churn a little bit here as he knows the Royals can come from behind. He did last night, their biggest deficit They overcame 4-run, what they've done the whole season. So he knows it's in their DNA, but can they come all the way?
5 consecutive multi-hit games for Whit Merrifield. And now Kane and Robertson. Slider for a strike. Lorenzo has a multi-hit game today. He has Escobar at third. Escobar walked with the bases loaded to get a run home, and now Whit Merrifield has driven in 4 in his last 2 games. Lorenzo has only seen Robertson twice, and Robertson struck him out both times. On the ground to short, Saladino to second base, one, throw to first, and the inning is still alive. Another run scores. So it's 7-5, and now Eric Hosmer comes to the plate, representing potential tying run.
Now, what's Ventura going to do? You're going to leave him in with a home run threat? Good hustle by Kane. Very good hustle, keeping this inning alive. Drew Butera's on deck. They see that.
And now Hosmer, who's driven in a run, and he has a home run in his career against Robertson. Good take.
I never remember Robertson throw that cutter like that. So this is a new pitch he's brought in. And he's using it a lot today. Crowd here at the Cave, many of them stayed. They believe. When their closer was coming in supposedly to get some work, and Ventura's going to take him out now at 29 pitches. Cutter in, didn't cut enough. Haas didn't barrel it. If he barrels it, it's a tie game. But plenty of room out there. Outfielders, their backs are against the wall. They're playing no doubles, but it didn't work. Great pickup by Haas. Great hustle by Lorenzo Kane to keep this inning alive.
Drew Butera will have a chance to tie it when we come back.
During this breaking reaction, here's a popular tip from MLB.com.
Yelich is 0 for 3 today. And a ball driven to left center. Sousa. He's got it! He's got it! It's in the
7-1, and David Robertson got the first out against the first hitter, and then this happened.
Yeah, just a lousy little one-hopper through, thinking, no big deal. But we'll take the double off the wall, scores him, and take the walk. Merrifield off the glove. That would have been a double play ball. Kane says, you know what? I'm going to beat out this ball. You're not going to double me up and keep the inning alive. And Hosmer with a nice stroke to right center field for a double. And fans are on their feet here with 2 outs in the 9th inning.
Tommy Canely making just his 4th appearance and pitches to Drew Butera, who had to take over for Salvador Perez, who was injured in the top of the 9th inning. Down and away, ball 1.
Hey, Canely, he's a guy who likes to rear back and throw it, and he wants to impress. That first pitch at 98. He's got a slider and a curve. Butera, one thing, shorten up your swing, just try to put it in play, find a hole. Don't try to hit a big home run, be a hero. Outfielders fairly shallow. They want to, on a routine ball, to be able to throw out Hosmer.
.99. 1 ball and 1 strike. Butera choking up,
yeah,
like you would. One of the first things you learn against a pitcher who throws hard.
That's right. You got a fastball like that, you're going to use that pitch. Eaton in right field has 7 outfield assists. Leads the American League.
Driven to left field. One-run Cabrera. Tie game. Unbelievable. The Royals have scored 6 in the bottom of the 9th inning. Woo! Aren't you glad you stuck around today?
Drew Butera says, you know what? I'm hoping my buddy Salvi's okay. I'm going to do what Salvi would have done. Bring this crowd to their feet. And the White Sox, who have been struggling the entire month of May, can't believe it.
That says it all. And now the Royals have a chance to put it away. The White Sox are not going to pitch to Paulo Orlando. Whoa! Winning run is at third base.
How about another one of those, please?
Tommy Canely wishes he was pitching in 2017 when a new rule is in effect, when you can just put a runner at first base with an intentional walk. He's got 3 more pitches to go. Noonan.
Hey, look, it may speed the game up, but this is exciting right here. I mean, come on, Kamish. You never know in baseball. Wild pitch could cost you a game. Ooh. And an 87-mile-an-hour intentional pass pitch, that's pretty good.
And Avila is treating this like Canely's throwing a 10-carat diamond up there. So Paulo Orlando started this inning innocently with a strikeout against David Robertson. And now, as the 10th man goes to first with an intentional walk, the scheduled hitter is Chesler Cuthbert. And Chesler has chipped in this inning with a single and a run scored. But Ned Yost is going to go with Gerard Dyson. And this is an interesting call because we saw Chesler appear to be favoring a leg as he scored the first run of this inning. And it was Cuthbert who collided with Salvador Perez in foul ground in the top of the 9th inning.
Gerard Dyson's going to step in. He's 1 for 1 as a pinch hitter off the bench this year. As a matter of only... Well, no, it's not the only pinch hit. Paulo's 2 for 2. Moose is 1 for 1, and so is Gerard Dyson as a pinch hitter. Donnie Cooper, I don't know what he told him, but he probably said keep the ball down, but Dyson likes that. He wants to find a hole.
Orlando runs, and Avila just saved the game. 1 ball and no strikes.
Life is back at the Cape after Salvador Perez, their star catcher, all-star Gold Glover, left with and some type of injury. The place was quiet for a while. Now they're back as Drew Butera, filling in for Salvi, stepped up with a big-time double.
Ball and 1 strike to Dyson. Well, when the inning started, I pointed out that the White Sox had been struggling to score runs in the last 10 days, not even averaging 3 a game. The Royals, in their last 4 games, are averaging 7 runs per game, and they had 1 coming into this inning, and here they are at 7 runs, and they've tied it, and now the White Sox are going to put Dyson on.
Oh, man, this is an adventure. They're going to face the rookie. It is just his 2nd Major League game. Brett Eibner. And they're not going to let Dyson have a chance for his first ever career walk-off hit. It's going to go to the young man with the chance.
Brett Eibner comes to the plate, and before he went to the plate, he had a little chat with Alcides Escobar.
Esky, slow it down. Yeah, slow it down. Make it be in slow motion and come through for us and get you a consecutive Salvi splash. Of course, it won't be given by Salvi.
It's hard to tell this to a guy who's playing in just his 2nd big league game, and he's batting with the bases loaded in the 9th inning. But the pressure is not on Brett Eibner right here. The pressure is on Tommy Kahnle.
Exactly right.
Looked like a cross-up. I don't think Avila was ready for that pitch. I mean, this game is going into extra innings. The Royals have already scored 6 in the bottom of the 9th. All the runs charged to White Sox closer David Robertson. So Eibner should have a smile on his face like he does right now.
Might want to take a strike.
Borderline pitch.
That's something that Eibner's going to have to think about now. I mean, because he has an upright stance. He's standing straight up. And that 97-98 belt high looks good, but it's not. You can't square that up too well. Look at Ned. Ned's into this one.
Two and 1. Boy, Brett Eibner, he's got to say to himself, this ball has to be right down the middle of the plate because Kahnle is all over the place.
Right. And there's Esky just trying to say, hey, look, just bring it down. Calm down.
Again, up and borderline. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Let's see where these pitches are.
Well, look at they're out of the zone, and you can't hit them. I'm telling you, you can foul them back, but that's the decision you have to make against a guy who throws this hard and loves that four-seamer up in the zone. He's going to go right back with it.
99 miles an hour.
I mean, he was fortunate just to get a piece of that one.
And to add a little bit of difficulty, I mean, you're facing a guy in the mid-90s, and we've been telling you this since the first inning. The sun has been in and out of the clouds all day. So one pitch, it's bright. The next pitch, everyone's in the shadows, as Eibner's trying to pick up a pitch from Canely. Another foul ball. So back into the shadows again. Canely came on for Robertson. He gave up the double to Butera to tie it, and then he intentionally walked Paulo Orlando and Gerard Dyson. Another foul ball, and that time Canely went with a slider. Brett Eibner was drafted in the second round by the Royals in 2010. Drafted with a broken hand. Then he tore a ligament in his thumb. Then he had shoulder problems. Then he had a torn abdominal muscle. It has taken him 6 years to get to the big leagues, and in his second big league game, he has a chance to win it. Just outside, and it's a full count.
Pretty close on that one. He wasn't looking down there, I guarantee you.
HUD between Robertson and Canely. This is the 50th pitch of the inning. 5-0.
Unbelievable.
Fouled away. And that was the most hittable pitch he's had in this at-bat. With one out, Cuthbert singled, Eibner doubled. This is Eibner's second at-bat in this inning. Infante walked. Escobar walked with the bases loaded. Merrifield a two-run single. Kane an RBI force out. Hosmer RBI double. Butera RBI double. And now back-to-back intentional walks. A 6-run bottom of the ninth. Line, base hit right field. It was worth the wait for Brett Eibner. A stunning, absolutely stunning 7-run bottom of the ninth inning.
That don't get no better. If you're a Royals fan, if you're a White Sox fan, you have some indigestion. Second big league game. First walk-off hit. He's going good.
What an at-bat, by the way.
I mean, to tell you, it started with a nice little inning where Robertson was going to come in and get a little bit of work.
It's the first time the Royals have come back from 6 runs in 4 years. Brett Eibner and his family will never, ever forget today. Let's go down to Joel.
All right, we've got Drew Butera, Brett Eibner, and probably some Gatorade buckets coming. My goodness, what a comeback in this one. Brett, tell me about the emotions right now. Woo! That felt good. Well, it's been an interesting day to say the least. Welcome again, Brett Eibner, to the big leagues. Tell me about your emotions on day 2, because day 2 seems a little better than day 1.
Yeah, just had to get the first one out of the way, and it's just like any other game. And went out here and just tried to put the best at-bats I could together and help this team out.
How are the nerves compared to that at-bat in the 9th inning where this incredible comeback has happened and you've had the chance to be the final hero versus your first at-bat in the big leagues that you've been waiting for so long?
I was actually really calm. I might have taken a couple big swings early, but I settled down and battled back into the count and got a pitch that I could handle.
I assume that growing up, those are the plays you dream of?
Yeah, I couldn't draw that up any better myself.
All right, congratulations, Brett Eibner. 2 days, 2 Gatorade buckets. Go enjoy it, and we'll bring in Drew Butera right now. Brett, great job.
Thank you.
Drew, you've been around this game for a long time as a player and growing up with your dad as a major leaguer. You ever seen anything like that?
No, but I've never seen a team like this. You know, we never quit. The fans never quit, and you know, I'm glad we could do it today.
This game and this place went from being very quiet for understandable reasons to feeling like it was a World Series game with the energy in here. So you come up to the plate for your first at-bat, first plate appearance of the game. Take us through what you saw and your emotions.
You know, just looking for something up out of the zone. Kind of thinking about Salvi too. He always comes clutch in those situations. So I was like, what would Salvi do?
That's good advice to take, and that leads me to the last and obvious question. You know, it's been a rough week for you guys, losing 2 All-Stars last Sunday, and I know that the health and the situation with Salvi is very much in everyone's mind. We'll get news on that later, but what's your thought as a guy that comes in and replaces him when you see a guy like Salvi go down?
It's tough, but you know, Salvi's a warrior. You know, he's a big, tough guy, and I'm sure it'll be fun.
Drew Butera, congratulations on an absolutely epic comeback. Great job.
Thank you.
That is Drew Butera, Brett Eibner, a lot of water, a lot of Gatorade, and I'll tell you what, it feels and tastes good, Ryan.
I can only imagine, Joel. And by the way, the Royals at the moment are in a first-place tie with the Chicago White Sox. Brett Eibner in his second big league game, his first walk-off. And for the first time in Royals history,